Hi, I'm Michelle Balzer, the Garden Education Coordinator for Beach Cities Health District. In the last video, I demonstrated how to transplant plants from the nursery into the pot, and in this video, we're going to plant some seeds. One of the things that's different about planting seeds versus doing transplants is when you have your soil in here, it's not all the way full. This would be perfect if you're putting a seedling in, but to plant seeds, we need this to be more full. When you're putting a seedling in, you need to leave room for the new plant that you're taking out of one of the little plastic pots that you get from the nursery, or if you've separated plants from somewhere else in your yard. So here, I've got this pretty full. You just want a little room from the top. You want the soil to be able to stay in the pot when you water it. If it's all the way up at the top, the moment you put water in, it's going to go spilling over. So you just want to leave a little room. I'm going to plant basil and cherry tomatoes. It's really important to follow the instructions on the back. Not all seeds like to be planted at the same depth, and if you plant them at the wrong depth, they might not sprout. Some seeds, usually larger seeds, like to be planted deeper. Usually the smaller seeds like to be planted up near the surface of the soil. So these seeds, on the back it says to put them 1/4 inch deep. That's just like my fingernail here. So if I'm not using a ruler, I already know what 1/4 inch is on my finger, but if you don't know, it's good to measure that, or you can use a ruler. I'm going to open this up. The seeds are teeny tiny. Teeny, teeny, tiny. You probably can't see them, but it's like the size of a sesame seed. So, because I know what 1/4 inch is, I'm going to make a little hole there, 1/4 inch deep. I know where that is on my finger. And I made 5 little holes, and I'm going to drop 2 seeds in each hole. They're really tiny, so sometimes you'll get 3 by accident, and that's okay. If all of them sprout, then once they start growing to be about this big, they're going to be too crowded in here. So then I can take out some of the plants and give them to friends or plant them somewhere else in the yard. But in the end, I'll probably only leave 1 or 2 plants in this pot. But you put all the seeds in there in the beginning just to see how many sprout. And I'm just going to close up those little holes. I like this packet because it's a blend of 4 different basils, and I love basil. It's got lemon basil, purple basil, Italian basil, and Thai basil, all in this one packet together. These basil seeds need to be planted also 1/4 inch deep. They're probably about the same size. Let's see. Not all plants like 1/4 inch deep, it's just a coincidence. They're super tiny, a lot of basil. So I'm going to do 1/4 inch deep. Because I already covered up the tomato holes, I might be putting them on top of my tomato holes, but that's okay. When they sprout, we can move them. And now I'm just going to close them up, pinching the soil closed over each little hole. You don't want to leave them exposed because they'll wash away, or birds will come down and pluck them out of the ground. And now that they're all in here, you don't want to pat it down. I'm going to take my watering can, which has a hole in it, and I'm going to gently water it with this. You see the sprinkle top here? The reason you choose this kind of watering can is because it's gentle on these tiny little seeds. If I used the type of watering can that had like a stream or a big squirt from a hose, it's going to push those seeds all over the place. And I placed them where I wanted them, in nice evenly spaced and 1/4 inch deep. If a plant has roots, it can hold itself still, so heavier watering isn't going to push it out of place. But seeds will just go floating around until they have some roots, so you just need to be really gentle. And once the water settles in, you're going to pour it in again. So I'm going to do this 3 or 4 times. I'm just going to soak it and let it soak all the way down until it's completely soaked. And then I'll water this every day for about 5 days, and then I'll back off and do every other day. Once I have little sprouts, then I'll back off and do like every 3 days. After a while, your rule of thumb is, 3 to 4 days a week. Unless it's super hot, you don't want it to ever totally dry out. You're gonna water it extra. If a plant is in the ground has a more constant temperature. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you have fun growing your own food at home and putting together different items that you want to mix and match and create your own tasty, fresh dishes at home. And please contact me if you have any questions or want any more information about growing your food from home. Thank you.